Hello there. It's been over a month since I've made a video. Uh, what do I do? Oh yeah, I gotta ask the people how they're doing. Oh, hi everyone. How you guys doing? My name's Alex Teasy, and in this video, I will be talking about 5 more things I would love to see in the upcoming game set to release in October 20th. That being Spider-Man 2. And let's waste no further ado. The first thing I want to see is hopefully co-op features. Now, I think this would be pretty cool to see, and I think at this point, I'm not exactly 100%, I'm not fully informed with how the game is going, but from what I know about the game, I hope that they bring co-op features. I don't think they're gonna bring co-op features, which, you know, it would be unfortunate to say the least, because I would love to have like a friend over and one person could play as Miles and one player could play as Peter, and that'd be so cool. But I don't get the feeling that this will happen, but it would be something that I'd love to have really seen in the game. But it is what it is. But I'll definitely, certainly love to see this in the game, if it happens or not. Like, even if it happens after post story, that would be even great. I think that would be very perfect. But let's move on to the second thing I would love to see in this game, which is, I hope that the map for basically Manhattan, or technically the city of New York, is just one massive place and isn't just broken up through loading screens. Now, you know, for example, I do not want the aspect of going from, let's say, Manhattan to Brooklyn, and like going, for example, through the bridge, which is actually the only way you usually get into Manhattan in the first place, is through the bridges. And so if you go through the bridges, I hope there isn't like a loading screen between that. I know the PS5 is powerful, and I actually hope that maybe it will just be a seamless transition or something that you won't even notice as the player, and like basically it will like deload all the information from Manhattan and start loading it all into Brooklyn, or for example Queens, and that'd be a really cool thing. And it would actually, and I think it has to probably due to the optimization that PS5 has, and in general, it would just be a much smoother experience for the player, and it would just be great, as you don't have to worry about loading screens, and it would just be all one massive fluid experience playing as, for example, you know, either Peter or Miles, and just swinging through the entire city and not just Manhattan like we did in the last 2 games that we've had from Insomniac. And so I definitely think this might definitely come and will be a thing in the second game. So another thing, this is my third thing I'd love to see in Spider-Man 2, and that is, I would love to have see a new Spider-Man introduced in the ending of this game. Now, it could be the ending. Now, from what we know, in the ending of Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, the first one, we actually get to introduce the idea that Miles is actually going to be a Spider-Man. Of course, we knew this because he got bitten by that spider in the game, and of course, we play as him a little bit actually, but basically, of course, then he got his own game, which was really cool, and I loved it, and it was incredible. I did play it on the channel, so if you do want to see them, you can go watch them if you want. But point being, I would love to see maybe Gwen Stacy become a Spider-Man in this franchise. Now, we haven't seen Gwen Stacy yet in this universe because we've never introduced to her, or even if she exists as a character. But, you know, we have MJ. How far is it to assume that there's a Gwen Stacy in this universe too? Because the Raimi-verse, for example, did have those 2 characters in the same universe as well. So that could be really cool to see in the Insomniac universe. So that would be really cool to see, and I hope that maybe we even get to like see her become Spider-Woman. Yeah. In the end of the game, it could even be like a post-credit scene or anything. It could even be like kind of sprinkled in throughout the story of the game. That would be epic. But I don't know. This is like a big one. This is a big one I'd love to see, but it would definitely be insane to see if there would be now 3 spider people in one city. That would be crazy. You know, New York City very protected by then. But let's just move on to the 4th point. And the 4th thing I would absolutely love to see is just more villains. I know that we had the Sinister Six in the first game, and we actually didn't have many villains in Miles Morales. We only had really 3, or you could count the Prowler as well, but he turned out to be a good guy for us, so that was definitely beneficial. But for example, we had Simon Krieger, we had Rhino, an upgraded Rhino, of course, and finally Finn, aka known as the Tinkerer. So, of course, these are all the villains from the last game, but in this game at the moment we have the Lizard, we have Kraven, we have Venom, which, oh my god, Venom's gonna be so good. Have you seen this guy? He looks so good, man. Look at him. He looks so comic book accurate. It's insane. It looks better than even Venom from the Sonyverse, which, it's a good movie, but still, this is way better. And of course, we also actually saw Martin Lee in a trailer for this game, and so I'm just curious what they're gonna do with him, and specifically the relationship between him and Miles, because we know that obviously, of course, Martin Lee was the reason for why Jefferson Davis did die, was because of Martin Lee. So I only assume that maybe Miles could even tap into his darker side through the idea that Martin Lee was the one who killed his father. So that might be a really interesting dynamic, with the whole idea that Peter Parker might turn into, more of a darker side of him as well, because, we see him with the Venom suit, which, oh my god, they're going to basically bring the whole Raimi-verse 3 movie into this, which I'll hope will be really cool. But we could also, like, in terms of adding more villains into this game, like, for example, we could see Vulture. That would be really cool to see, which we do see him in the first Spider-Man game. I wonder if he's still in the raft. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But another villain I'd love to see, and it'd be absolutely perfect for this fitting of the story, and the fact that we have now Harry back now finally. A little different, but he is back. And that being the Green Goblin. Now, could Norman Osborn be the Green Goblin? We actually did have evidence for this through the fact that when we were playing as MJ in one mission in the first game, we actually did see that there was a Green Goblin mask prototype on his desk, on Norman Osborn's desk. And that was really interesting, and it only suggested that maybe it was a hint to suggest that he could show up in this game, which would be absolutely amazing, because the Green Goblin is such a unique villain as well. And we can only imagine the dynamic between him and Harry, of course, who actually then turns into a villain himself too, which is obviously Venom. Hopefully, I'd assume it's Venom, and so, yeah. So that's another thing I would absolutely love to see in this game. And now I'm going to talk about the fifth and final thing I want to see in Spider-Man 2, and that being the fact that we didn't exactly get DLCs in Miles Morales, which I know that kind of makes sense because it's a bit of a smaller game, but we did get DLC in the first game in Marvel Spider-Man, and so it only makes sense, and it would just be so cool to have DLC for this game after the launch of the game, which is obviously on October 20th, so that is obviously really exciting. And so basically, I would have loved to see DLC for this game, and I think everyone here is pretty on board here with the idea of having DLC in the game in the first place. But I had this one idea that was pretty out there, pretty crazy. But imagine this: we had a DLC where we have Miles Morales and Black Cat working together. Bro, what kind of dynamic would this create? I don't even know. Put it in the comment section down below if you know what this could turn into, or I don't know, because to be honest with you, I think I really loved the first DLC from the first game. I think that was probably the best one because it's just the soul dynamic between Peter and Black Cat, or specifically Felicia Harding. And yeah, it'd be really cool to see Black Cat and maybe Miles just doing some stuff together. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Or even a DLC where we have Peter actually trying to bring back Yuri. Yuri Watanabe from the freaking first game, the police commissioner, remember? She was a big part of that first game. And yeah, apparently from what we see in the trailers, that she's actually going to be a villain in this game. So that's going to be very interesting. I love to see how the dynamic will be for that too, especially for Peter as well. So yeah, I think these are my 5 things I would love to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, to be honest with you, this game is absolutely going to be epic. It's going to be so good. I am definitely very excited for this game, which is only going to come out in less than 50 days from, I think, when this video has been released. So yeah, that is going to be absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to play this hopefully great sequel to an already amazing first game in general. So guys, I hope you did enjoy this video, and oh, look at that. I remembered to do the outro because I haven't been here for a while. Been out for a month, so it is what it is. But been a little break, basically. You know, holiday stuffing, right? And so, yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Feel free to leave a like. That would definitely be very much appreciated on the video. Also, if you like this kind of content, and by the way, I will be playing this game on the channel, so please, not maybe even please, yeah, I'm begging at this rate. I would highly recommend for you guys to also subscribe to the channel. It would also help you out in general, as when Spider-Man 2 does come out in October 20th, you'll be able to see my videos coming up on that same game as well, and that day. So be subscribed and stay tuned to see those videos. So guys, I'll say it once again, hope you did enjoy the video, and most importantly, don't forget to take it easy, and peace.